Let's start with this basic example. The value of y varies directly proportional to the value of x. If y equals 15 when x equals 5, what is the value of y when x equals 12.5? So if y varies directly proportional to x, we can form an equation that looks something like this: y equals k of x. So the first thing is to calculate the value of k by putting in these values. So y equals 15 when x equals 5. So our equation basically looks something like this. You can easily find out the value of k from this equation. K equals 3. So our equation would become y equals 3x. Now replace x equals 12.5 into this equation and find out the value of y. So y equals 3 into 12.5, which is basically 37.5. This is our answer. Also remember, you can write this relationship like this as well. y1 over x1 equals y2 over x2 and so on. It will give you a constant that is this k. So we could have written this expression like this as well. Let's say this is our y1 and this is our x1 and this is our y2 and this is our x2. The relationship would look like this: 15 over 5 equals y2 is something that we need to find over 12.5. You will get exactly the same answer. Please remember this. Next question. A group of workers can harvest all the grapes from 10 square meters of a vineyard in 20 minutes. At this rate, how many minutes will the group need to harvest all the grapes from 300 square meters of this vineyard? So you should see that square meters is basically directly proportional to the number of minutes. If you have more area, obviously it will take more minutes to harvest that land. So if this is y, we can write it like this: y equals k of x. Or you can simply form the ratio yourself. It's completely up to you. So you can also write it like this. So if 10 square meters basically represent 20 minutes, we have, let's say, square meters here and we have minutes here. Then how much time will it take to harvest 300 square meters? 300 square meters represent x. So you can write it like this and then cross multiply. What do you get? You will get 10x equals 300 into 20. X equals 300 into 2, which is 600. This is our answer. Or if you want to form the equation, you can do that as well. It's completely up to you. Or you can also write it like this: y1 over x1, which is, let's say, 10 over 20 equals y2 over x2, which is 300 over x. You will get the same equation. Another interesting question, and you know we just love graphs, so we can't let go of them. We can't ignore them. It's just not possible. Okay, if y is directly proportional to x, which of the following could represent the graph of y equals f of x? If they're directly proportional, that means it should be an increasing function. So you can easily eliminate option choice B and option choice D. A and C are both increasing functions, but our answer should be option choice C, because y equals 0 when x equals 0. The graph should pass through the origin. Please remember this. Next question. If 4 typists can complete the typing of a manuscript in 9 days, how long would it take 12 typists to complete the manuscript? Now this is basically inverse proportion and not direct proportion, because if you've got more number of typists, then the number of days would decrease and vice versa. We can write it like this: T is directly proportional to 1 over D, where T basically represents the typist and D is days. So if we remove the proportionality sign, what do we get? T equals K over D, and K is T into D. You can also write this relationship as y1 x1 equals y2 x2 and so on. The multiplication basically gives us this constant. Please remember that. Okay, let's plug in the values. So if they can complete the manuscript in 9 days, how long would it take 12 typists to complete the manuscript? And how many typists are there? Oh, here we have got 4 typists here. So when t equals 4, d equals 9, what is the value of k? Let's plug in the values and we get k equals 4 into 9 using this formula. K equals 9 into 4 is basically 36. So our equation looks something like this. T equals 36 over D. This is our equation. Now let's see, what do we have to find? How long would it take 12 typists? So we need to find the value of D. So let's make D the subject of the formula. D equals 36 over T. D equals 36 divided by 12, which is 3. So it will take 12 typists 3 days to complete the same manuscript. Okay, there's an easier way to do this question as well, and that is using the ratios that I've been doing earlier. So we have got typists here and we have got days. So 4 typists can complete a job in 9 days. How long would it take 12 typists? So 12 typists, let's say, would take X days. Now in direct proportion, we basically cross multiply. But in inverse proportion, you multiply with the value that is right in front. That's the trick. And you will get exactly the same thing here. Let's multiply, let's see what do we get. So we have 9 into 4 equals 12 into X. There you go. And you will get X equals 3, the same answer. I personally like this method a lot and I use this. Another similar question. If a job can be completed by 2 people in 10 days, then how many people working at the same rate, this is important, are needed to complete the same job in 5 days? So this is inverse proportion. If you've got more people, obviously it would take less number of days and vice versa. So we have got people and we have got days. So if a job can be completed by 2 people in 10 days, then how many people would it take working at the same rate to complete the same job in 5 days? What do? You multiply the numbers that are in the same line. So we have 2 into 10 equals 5 into X. See, easiest way. And the answer would be 2, that is X equals 4. So how many people it would take? 4 people working at the same rate to complete the job in 5 days. Next question. If 5 people take D days to install the plumbing for a house, then how many days would it take 2 people to complete 1/3 of the same job? Assume the people work at the same rate. First of all, we need to define proportionality, and it is inverse proportion. If you've got more people, then definitely it would take less number of days to complete the same job. So we have got people and we have got days. If it takes 5 people to take D days to complete the job, how many days, that is X, would it take 2 people? First, let's find out the value of X. So as it is inverse proportion, you multiply the numbers that are in front of each other. We get 5D equals 2X. X equals 5D over 2. So it basically takes 2 people these many days to complete the job. But we are talking about one complete job here. But our target answer is a little different. We have to find how many days it would take 2 people to complete 1/3 of the same job. So we need to divide this answer by 1/3, by 3 basically. So if we want 1/3 of the job, 1/3 of the job, that would be 5D over 2 into 1 over 3. So our answer should be 5D over 6. This is our answer, which is option choice C.